Hello, my name is Derek Paul, and I'm the executive pastor and founding director of Identify Ministries, but it wasn't always this way. I grew up in a preacher's family, and for those of you who are in a ministry family, you know that it is challenging. And from a young age, from about 4 years old, I started experiencing same-sex attraction. And because of that same-sex attraction, ended up being confused as to who God was and being really insecure about my body. My same-sex attraction caused me to think that maybe God made a mistake on me. And my effeminate mannerisms and voice made me think, well, maybe God put me in the wrong body. And I came up with these really weird ideas and vows about who I was and who God was that prevented me from growing in the Lord. I came to the Lord at about 8 or 9 years old because of these feelings. I had a sense that no one could help me with these things except the Lord. And I had an encounter with the Holy Spirit that was much more powerful than I ever realized. For a couple of years, I didn't experience any same-sex attraction, but I still had the effeminate voice and mannerisms and ways of communicating where people would treat me as if I was gay or should have been a girl. And people would ask me, why do you talk like a girl? Why do you walk like a girl? And it really made me very insecure. What were they seeing that I wasn't seeing? And that insecurity really brought back ways of coping, like same-sex fantasy about older males. And it was a real struggle. I felt like I was in turmoil, and I didn't feel like I could share at my church or with my pastor. It was my dad. So I kept that struggle to myself. My senior year of high school, my family ended up retiring from ministry, and on the day they retired, not the smartest move, I told them that I struggled with same-sex attraction. Now, I was really involved in the competitive cheerleading industry for about 11 years, and it was through competitive cheerleading, of all things, that I came to enjoy my body. I could do the skills and the tricks and the moves. I was stronger than the girls, and I really took a lot of pride in that aspect of my body. So that gender dysphoria naturally integrated. But I was still struggling with the mystery of males that I just felt like I couldn't bond with. And I really wanted a male to walk me through masculinity, and I had sexualized that. Little did I know, years later, that the Lord himself would mentor me through my same-sex attraction and mentor me in how he created me and what that masculinity would look like. I ended up getting a fantastic accountability partner that I could share a number of things with. All of the things that I kept hidden from my church, from my family, and he didn't judge me. God was only as big as the questions I would ask him. And I found that I was keeping God too small. Years later, I would end up getting married to my wife because I did have feelings for her, and I was getting aroused around her. But that didn't make the same-sex attraction go away. It wasn't until 5 years into my marriage and about 6 or 7 years of recovery that I came to my breaking point. On that day, I wish I could say that I said all the right things and did all the right things. But at my lowest point, the Lord met me, and I felt a veil come off of my face. And the truthful things that people had told me that I didn't understand all of a sudden came together, and I understood that those people loved me. The woman that I was married to, that she unconditionally loved me, and that God himself unconditionally loved me. And that was the beginning of the transformative work that God did in a significant way in my life. Years later, after developing my own family and enjoying my own kids, the Lord would call me back to this important issue in my life to do ministry. I am so grateful that the Lord is using this ministry both to develop me and to be there for others. And I want to thank you for hearing how God is working in my life. I hope He continues to do it. I'm pretty sure He will. Will you walk in the light with Identify Ministries so I can help people identify with Jesus who don't?